What's going on? We back. Excuse me. What's going on? We back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Talks a real boxing talk right quick. Whatever reason we having a connection issue. Let me get this situated. Give me a second. Yeah, having a small connection issue. 1 second. Make sure everything good. Yeah, it's just gonna be like this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I had a small connection issue. We back. I want to talk about some things in the sport of boxing right now. You read the headline. You'll talk about time for American boxers to dump the WBC belt and other belts as well. We could talk about. I reserve that rest of that video for another day. Also, Badou Jack and Marcus Browne is coming close to reality. Possible for Browne Pacquiao undercard or another fight card down the line. And Haymon is coming to not only kick Eddie Hearn out of the American market, but he came over to take his own market over in the UK. So we're going to talk about those three subjects. Ain't going to be on super duper long. At least I don't plan to. Salute to everybody out there that's checking us out. Man, I definitely appreciate everybody supporting the channel, man. Most definitely, man. Keep supporting, keep sharing the channel, keep promoting us. I definitely appreciate everybody that's rolling through. I know this is it's a hot live stream hour, man, so I don't try to really come on this late, man. At least this time, or at least I try to come on later. Didn't work out yesterday, man. Never know, maybe come back in the morning at some point, but, you know, this right now just be the time we on, man. But salute to all the brothers and sisters out there supporting what we doing, man. And, yeah, man, I definitely think it's time to go ahead and dump that belt, man, for sure. I think it's time to go ahead and dump the WBC belt. It's my personal opinion. They doing some fuckery with the belt. They're gonna continue to do more fuckery with that belt. And you can go back to the open scoring for Austin Trout and Canelo Alvarez, you know what I'm saying? And how disgusting that was, how disgusting some of them scorecards was for the open scoring. You can go back to when Deontay Wilder said he wanted to catch a body. All of a sudden, they made him apologize and do all this. You can go back to them, ordering Sean Porter 2 mandatories. You go back to them ordering Jamel Charlo 2 mandatories after he beat John Jackson. You go back to, to them not ordering David Benavidez 2 mandatories. They didn't order him 2 mandatories. He won a vacant belt versus Ronald Graville. He wasn't ordered 2 mandatories. Or yet to be ordered 2 mandatory. So it's a clear double standard, that they favor Mexican fighters in this Mexican belt. It's a clear double standard that they favor money. If you got money, you can push the WBC whatever way you want to push them in. They have no strict laws. They have no liability in the United States. Only through the Muhammad Ali Act can you sue them through, which is very, very difficult to do. And they're gonna continue to get away with what they want to get away with. And if these fighters don't bond together, the WBC is going to take advantage. They're going to take all your sanction belt money. They're going to milk you. You're going to be in a situation like Jamal Charlo in no man's land. They clearly don't have a set of rules set in stone. Their rules are very, very subjective to how much money you can put into it. It's very subjective. They're not for the sport of boxing. Like Deontay Wilder was ordered to fight Romain Saverne, who had only 1 fight, after the original Wilder fight 2 years ago, I believe, 2 years from that point, or whatever long it was, and they made him a mandatory. Charles Hadley, who had done nothing but get knocked out by Leonardo Tanner. Shout out to Detroit, fellow Detroiter. Got knocked out by Leonardo Tanner, and he still came back and got a mandatory shot versus Jamel Charlo, excuse me. WBC got to be stopped, and it's time for these fighters to bond together, use their voice, Top Rank, The Zone, PBC, whatever it may be. It's clear that y'all are treated behind the 8 ball as fighters. The WBC doesn't value U.S. fighters. They value their Mexican fighters. And if they want to be a Mexican belt and be a proud Mexican belt, let them. It's time for the fighters to go with a belt that represents American fighters, that represent the guys that defected from Cuba, the guys that came over from the Dominican Republic, the guys that come from Jamaica, the guys that come from everywhere, the guys that come from Canada. We need a North American belt. Because don't nothing else matter outside the North American continent in boxing really much. You know, the British Commonwealth belt and the British title, the European, whatever European title, that matter, that's huge over there. That's humongous over there. Imagine how big a North American world title would be, or North American national title would be, because your WBC, the WBA, the WBO, all them sanctioned belt bodies are not even stationed in America because they have liability. They can be sued. You know, they have to play by fair rules here. If they in America, it's time for these fighters to buck up, like he said in How High. To Bart, buck up, Bart. It's time for these dudes to buck up, stud up, whatever you want to use, whatever adjective you want to use. It's time for these dudes to man up and demand more. It's time for them to throw the belt in the trash like Riddick Bowe did for the right reasons, though, this time. It's time for them to get rid of the WBC, man. If the WBA and the IBF and the WBO don't want to follow suit, then you go somewhere else. You get these great business minds to come up with their own belt. An independent agency, just like if you at the plant, you know, you got the union, and then you got the independent agency that handles between the workplace and the union. I forget what they call it. But this is independent. They handle all work related things between the company and between the motherfucking the workers. You know, if they need to hire a third party that's gonna find a way to fund these vital drug testing all the way around. That's gonna come up with at least we'll find 1 or 2 belts that's gonna be good for what they're doing over in America. That's gonna be fair and fair ranking systems. Come up with a committee, come up with an appeals committee, and come up with somebody else, just like the NFL and NBA. You need a commissioner to run this. Come with a commissioner that's gonna run it. Obviously can't be Al, obviously can't be Bob, can't be any manager, can't be somebody in the current state of boxing. Obviously, got to be somebody that understands boxing. You got to be somebody that has no ties. Has to be a third party, and he's the bridge between the fighters, the current boxers. He's the bridge between the whoever going to be the third party commission. And both of the sanctioned belt bodies that you got, they find that you elect will be stationed in America. One can be stationed in New York, East Coast, and one can be stationed in LA or California, West Coast. Because what they're doing is criminal. It's obvious favoritism towards certain fighters. It's obvious they want that 3% coming out the biggest lump sum. Money is controlling it too much. And watch, soon as the American fighters take the power out the WBC and any other sanctioned belt body that don't want, watch how they want to play fair. It won't even have to get to you going to get a commissioner and a third party commission to run it. Soon as y'all start to put that in rotation, the WBC and the rest of them dudes gonna fall in line and play fair. Trust me, they gonna want to play fair. That's a fact. What they doing right now is not playing fair. And the black fighter and the American fighter, maybe the Cuban or the Dominican fighter, you know, they getting the shit end of the stick. They getting the shit end of the stick. That's a fact. Why? Because Canelo is Mexican, so the WBC allow him to do what he wants to do. Why? Why should he be allowed to do what he wants to do? Why should Jamal Charles have to continue to pay 3% out of his purse to the WBC for what? Why should Dillian White be a diamond champion and continue to pay 3% out of his purse to be a diamond champion? And he got to fight a final title eliminator to get a mandatory shot. Why should somebody be able to? Why should a promoter or manager be able to throw you $300K to push a mandatory? Why should they be able to throw $500K or whatever, 30K or 50K for a fighter that doesn't deserve to be ranked inside the top 15 to be ranked inside the top 15 so they can sanction the fight? You tell me all this ain't corrupt. You tell me this ain't corrupt. You tell me that I'm lying. It's time for the fighters to bond together and break the norm. It's time for them to blaze a trail for better boxing, a better generation of boxing. Of course, it's not an easy road when you boycott a belt, a sanctioned belt body, you know, and take your business to another one. Say, oh, I deem that the prestigious belt, because it's all fun and games. You want somebody that's going to go by strict laws, strict rules, and that's going to enforce mandatories, and that's going to enforce what's right for the sport of boxing. Let's just keep it real. You know, I just had a whole conversation with the Cali Enigma before I jumped on about this, man. It's sickening. It's sickening, bro. I'm not saying this because it's Jamal Charlo. I'm sick of this because I'm seeing the same double standards. These sanctioning belt bodies, they want to roll who got the most money and protect him. You know what I'm saying? And Triple G was a Calisteus as well too. He got strung along. He was the intern champion. He was the same as Jamal Charlo. He got stronger on. He got did wrong. And guess what? He waited 2 years for Cotto and Canelo combined, got the belt, continued to wait for Canelo fight, and aged himself out, in some people's opinion. At some point, they got to stop because he's going to do the same thing to Jamal Charlo. He got to be smart enough to know that. He can't really age somebody out that's the same age, though. You know? The time of Black American fighters being second fiddle to any fighters in North America or in the world is over with. It's time to understand that they do have a fan base. It's time to understand that America hardcore fans are behind them. It's to understand that you need to go ahead and make a fight and fight out your hometown. You need to fight where Black people are in Atlanta. You need to fight where Black people are and Cubans and Haitians are in South Florida. You need to go fight in D.C. You need to fight on the East Coast. You don't have to chase these Mexican fighters no more. You don't have to chase them no more. You don't have to chase these belts no more. It's time for everybody to man up and somebody to devise a plan and create their own sanctioning belt bodies. That's what it's time to do. It's time for, in other words, you know, and not to the literal sense of what I'm about to say, it's time for boxers to unionize. What's going on? Lamont Dion Williams, what's going on? He got the Brooklyn Nets. Mr. White, what's going on? The Cali Enigma. I heard their main offices is in it's somewhere else. I could be wrong, the IBF. WC think they shit don't stink, and the WBO don't like PBC fighters. Lamont, Sergio Torres, Jamal Charlo is the only one having problems. Every other American fighter is good. That's not true. Jamal Charlo is not the only one that's on having problems. His brother Jamil had to face 2 mandatory defenses. He had to face Charles Halley, who didn't deserve it, and he had to face Erickson Lubin, who didn't deserve it. Sean Porter, even though I can't get into that, Sean Porter got ordered 2 mandatory defenses. Just say Sean Porter, that was brought on him by somebody close to him. You can go over to David Benavidez. He won a vacant belt. He wasn't forced to face 2 mandatory defenses. He was allowed to rematch Ronald Garville. And then he was going to be allowed a voluntary fight before they forced the Anthony Durrell fight until he pulled that thing with top rank. Deontay Wilder. He was forced to fight Bermain Stavern because of Don King relationship with Mauricio Suleiman Sr. and carried on Mauricio Suleiman Jr. When he said he wanted to catch a body, they was trying to discipline Deontay Wilder for that. Okay, why would you discipline me for saying that? It don't matter if I want to catch a body, I want to catch a body. I didn't do nothing wrong. You want to discipline me for saying I want to catch a body or I want to kill a body, but anybody disciplined Mike Tyson back in the day? Canelo Alvarez failed 2 performance-enhancing drug tests, and y'all didn't want to discipline him. Y'all didn't make him get in the Nevada 365 drug program. After he pissed hot, 6 months, he got to do whatever he wanted to do. Then hop back in the Nevada drug testing program. Come on. So don't tell me Jamil Charlo the only people having a problem with this belt. They allowed Floyd Mayweather to hold the belt because it was about money. Will, what's going on? That's why Floyd, either if you're Mexican or you got that bread, they're going to allow you to do what you want to do. Gary Russell sold out to DC. Clarissa sold out Detroit with a lot of Black people. Yeah, the Masonic Temple. Very, very be on point with. I'm very familiar. Canelo had problems. No, Canelo didn't have problems with WBC like this. Canelo brought them problems on himself. Canelo did not want to fight Triple G. That's what it was. Canelo wanted to fight Triple G on his own time. The WBC said, "No, you're gonna fight him now. We're gonna take the belt from you." And eventually, they wanted that money. They wanted to be back in Canelo good graces, and they did. You know, the WBC has allowed Canelo to do a lot of things. The WBC allowed Canelo to do plenty. The WBC let Canelo get his first belt at 154 pounds at a catch weight of what, 150 or 151 with Matthew Hatton. The WBC let him sanction a fight versus him and Josito Lopez, I believe it was. The WBC sanctioned a fight between him and Canelo Alvarez for the middleweight title at 155 pounds when Amir Khan barely fought at 147 pounds. So don't tell me what the WBC do and don't do. It's plenty of dirt that I can't even think of right now. Plenty. WBC let Keith Thurman hold that belt a whole year before they stripped him. So don't tell me about the WBC. They full of baloney. Oh, don't tell me about the WBC with Adonis Stevenson. They let Adonis Stevenson go 4 or 5 years without a mandatory defense and try to act like they didn't know it was 4 or 5 years since Adonis Stevenson had a mandatory defense. Come on, sweet science salute. Come on. Gary, I'll get to that in a minute, family. Come on, salute. So don't tell me about the WBC. You know why Adonis Stevenson was able to go 4 or 5 years without a mandatory defense? Because he was paying money to them. If a sanction to belt money, if a sanction to belt body is driven by money first, and not for the sport, not for the love of the sport force or for or the sport in general, then it's bad. If that 3% out of a fighter's purse is more important than doing what's right and doing what's right for other fighters' careers, then you're wrong. There's no way Canelo Alvarez should be able to move up to 168. You know, we give you a voluntary fight. Okay, I'm cool with a voluntary fight. But there's no point if he fights more than one fight at 168 and they let him carry that WBC title. It's a joke. Well, yeah, they need to sue, but like we was talking about on the phone, me and Cali Nigma, excuse me, he needs to sue for his sanctioning belt body fees back, and just keep it moving. All these fighters need to come together and bond together, man. No matter what side of the street you on, because it's comical. Because black fighters ain't allowed, or Cuban fighters ain't allowed, or Dominican fighters ain't allowed, or a lot of UK fighters. Let's throw them in there too. They ain't allowed to do what they want to do with them sanctioning belt bodies. They're not allowed to, I can move up. No, I done seen guys get sentenced to 2 straight mandatories. You know, seriously, man. It's a crime. It's a serious crime what they doing in the sport of boxing. Amir, what's going on? It's a crime. And they getting off the hook with that. So the fighters got the power to do that, man. They know plenty of powerful businessmen that can help them out with this. You know? And they got to start somewhere. Don't you want to be the trendsetter? Don't you want to break the trend of answering to Hispanic and whoever else sanctioning belt bodies? Who said these Hispanic sanctioning belt bodies? Gilberto Mendoza, Mauricio Suleiman Jr., whoever run the WBO, whoever run the IBF. Who said that they the king of boxing? Who elected these dudes to represent the sport of boxing? And you say, okay, they can represent the sport of boxing, but are they representing the sport of boxing with honor? No, they not. No, they aren't. Fuck their conventions. Forget their belts. We can have our own belts. Al Haymon can show them a way to get their own belts and show them the direction it should go in. But they won't work together, bro. All these dudes can work together and break that. Everybody from Crawford to Spence to Jacobs, all these dudes, man. All these dudes can get together and say, all that money we gave to them, what did them sanctioning belt bodies give to us? Crawford, he won the WBA, Super WBA title at 140. Did you know it took him, they didn't give him his belt for months? For months, it took him to get his Super WBA 140-pound belt for months to get that belt. Months. He had to cry and complain to get his belt that he worked hard for to win. His own personalized belt. That he worked hard for. They wouldn't have did that shit to no Canelo, no Triple G. Them motherfuckers that had their belt on the hop. Custom. You know, shined up and everything. Wouldn't did no Spanish fighter like that. So who made the Hispanic fighters the king of boxing, the king of sanctioning belt bodies? It's time to break. It's time to break that, bro. It's time to break that. The IBF out of Jersey, American fighters should use them to take their advantages. Exactly. We were talking about that. I guess they are out of Jersey. I thought I read something else. I could be wrong. Yeah, man. If you want to come here, if you want to stay in a position of power, this is what I tell them. You got to come station in America, all of y'all, because that's where you get your grunt of your money from. American fighters or fighters fighting on American soil. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? They big money don't come from guys over in Thailand and the Philippines and Asia. And they don't get their money from that. Or they celebrity status from that. They get their celebrity status from Canelo, Floyd wearing the belt, Triple G wearing the belt, Charlo's wearing the belt, Deontay Wilder wearing the belt. That's where they get their celebrity status from, man. So they can kill me with that shit, bro. You know, they can miss me with that. Let's talk about Badou Jack and Marcus Browne, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna stay on long. Gotta fold these fucking clothes, man. Apparently, it's been broke on Twitter that in Ring TV supposed to have a story up that they fighting soon, man. So it could fall on the Manny Pacquiao, Adrian Broner card. It could fall on another card, probably Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia card, or another Fox card, or whatever it is. Appreciate it. You know, it could be interesting to see them dudes, get it in, man. You know, and fight. Marcus Browne caught another DV charge a couple months ago, so I guess that's been handled, man. I see him at the Barclays Center, coming through the front door. So at the end of the day, hopefully that brother get his life together with this lady that he's having DV problems with, man. But yeah, him and Badou Jack. I mean, that's just a stay busy fight for Badou Jack, man. Seriously. It's just a stay busy fight for him, man. And like I said before, Marcus Browne, sometimes he look good and other times he looks shaky. You know, sometimes Marcus Browne looks like he's a great puncher. He looks like a 2012 or 2012 Olympian that looked like he could have been something with Errol Spence and Dominic Brazil. And other times he don't look that good, man. So this is a big opportunity for Marcus Browne. He's probably bigger and stronger than Badou Jack. He can punch. But his last out and out, who he fought last time, he looked terrible. I can't remember exactly who he fought last time, but he didn't look that good. You know, if he would have fought Kovalev like he was supposed to, because he's supposed to fight Kovalev for Alvarez stepped up, and the DV charge, they smacked him off that Kovalev fight. And he wasn't ready. And that was a blessing in design not to get the Kovalev fight. And Badou Jack is probably a better fighter for him because Badou Jack hasn't really grown into the light heavyweight division. He had 2 fights there. I think Browne might be a little bit taller. Browne might be a little bit more athletic, but Badou Jack got more skills. But Browne does have bone-crushing KO power. So that's a really good fight. Browne getting an opportunity to challenge. He went from challenging for the WBO title to falling off of that because of a DV charge to fighting Badou Jack. That ain't the worst fall. It ain't an epic fall, but, you know, he may never get a title shot. If he get beat by Badou Jack, he may never get that title shot. But I think he like his chances versus Badou Jack. He a better puncher than Badou Jack. Badou Jack is a better fighter. We all know Badou Jack started off slow, so shit. He might have a chance to get Badou Jack. So I think it's a good fight. But Marcus Browne looked terrible his last time out. Bad. I'm gonna go to the comment section, man. And then we're gonna talk about this Al and Eddie joint and get back to the topic of discussion. Okay, Sweet Science say Canelo got rewarded for popping dirty. Exactly, Lamont. Sweet Science say what the WBA did to Rigondeaux was an ultimate crime. Exactly, that's a great point. Amir Shuet, why did the fans let the sanctioning belt bodies have so much power? Why did the fighters let the sanctioning belt bodies have too much power as well? Lamont, Triple G always trying to bully welterweight fighters. Exactly, Terrence Wiseman. Fact, only they let Floyd hold on to the 47, 54-pound belts at the same time. When Sergio Martinez won 160-pound belt, they stripped Martinez at 154-pound belt, made Pacquiao Margarito. Exactly. They rolling for whoever got the money. Jesus Perez, what's going on? Jason Kidd, what's up? American fighters also got paid more. They could have been started an organization. Exactly. With all these smart businessmen minds going around, I mean, Floyd got business ties to a lot of different business guys. Al Haymon, Max Johnson could have helped them out. So many smart businessmen that could help them out. Warren Buffett could help them out. He knows how to, maneuver in those people. Sean Burke, what's going on? Marcus Browne is a good fighter. Don't know why he's being protected. He has talent because he looked bad his last time out. Let me tell you who he fought last time out. Give me a minute. He was on that terrible ass FS1. No, he was on that terrible undercard of Devin Alexander and Andre Berto, but he was on the FS1 portion. That FS1 portion was better than the Fox portion though. Same day as Alvarez and Kovalev. Yeah, I seen him at the Barclays Center back in April. In the Barclays Center. Let me see. Yeah, Lennox Castillo. He didn't look good in that fight. If my memory serves me correctly, he got dropped. Marcus Browne is trash. I wouldn't say trash. He's a good fighter. He just ain't, I don't know, man. He just ain't focused, man. He got skills. When he hitting on all cylinder, he look like a world-class fighter, man. But he only as good as your last performance. Jesus Perez, I'm Latino, and I hate Canelo. Hope Charlo fights and kills him. Sean Burke, I thought he won't. He said steps up fight against a European fellow. It was close, though. The Sweet Science Badou Jack won all the smoke. Allen Henderson, most of the money fighters in the past were black. Only De La Hoya Chavez represented Mexico. Okay. Yeah, man. And also, I did a video talking about Al Haymon and Eddie Hearn, man. It seems that Al Haymon is secretly. I mean, everything he does is in. Is in secret. He's a very, very secret guy. He's a very, very personal guy. He doesn't talk, do interviews. He talked to a few of the guys that be in the media hallway and stuff of that nature. But like I said before with Al, he's going to the UK. He's putting a show on ITV box office between Chris Eubanks Jr. and James DeGale. He's going to continue to put on shows through ITV box office. I think he may be partners with BT Sports as well. He's also going to bring, I believe, the Fox and PBC cards over to the UK and broadcast them, so you won't have an issue with Danny Garcia and Sean Porter where that fight wasn't being broadcast in the UK. You guys have a VPN or find a stream for that as well. So, with Eddie Hearn is trying to come over here and take over America, Al Haymon is trying to shut him down in America and then shut him down in his own home country of Britain, the UK. So, so you guys over in the UK is going to get treated to more Al Haymon fights. Hopefully he puts on great fights over there. And I wouldn't mind seeing him stump Eddie Hearn now because Al Haymon didn't do nothing wrong to Eddie Hearn. He helped Eddie Hearn. May it be getting the McDowell fight versus Kamada. May it be Kell Brook come over here getting a decision and getting his first world title, the IBF title. He wanted to work with Eddie Hearn. At one point, Eddie Hearn and Mayweather was doing a U.S. versus UK series in the UK. And now that Eddie Hearn came over here trying to act like he the Don Dada and bring the zone over here, act like just because he had $1 billion backing that, he was going to be some type of mega star over here. This hasn't worked. That's why you're seeing him saying, why don't Charlo take my money, or Mikey Garcia should take my money. He's crazy. He's stupid. He gets so irate with these fighters and winners that don't know what they're making. He's insulting them while he's trying to beg them to come over. How can you insult somebody? That's like your girl. Like, nobody needs your funky ass anyway, baby. Get out of my house and come on, baby, please. I'm trying to come on, baby. You want some, but you don't want to really beg. You dissing her and begging her at the same time. So that's basically what he's doing. He's showing a lot of feminine traits, man. And while he doing this and while he trying to work in the U.S. and work back and forth in UK, Al Haymon moving in on him in the UK. Al Haymon closing TV deals over in the UK. He trying to sort the UK. He trying to make it seem where he trying to bankrupt Matchroom. It's at the point where, he got that Eddie Hearn in the fetal position, the position of no power. He gonna crush him. Don't be surprised when Matchroom is out of business. And what's gonna be the nail in the coffin is when Deontay Wilder finally cancels AJ, and they had no other choice but to cash out in the Wilder fight. That's what he's doing. All this is every time Eddie make a move, Al Haymon make a bigger move. Eddie can make the biggest move he can make possible. Al Haymon just makes a more gigantic move. What's going on, Antonio Mendoza? What's going on, family? I'm about to corner the market on Eddie Hearn, man. And this is significant because that at the end of the day, at least if you get your butt kicked in somebody else's country, you always can go home and get a good meal. He ain't gonna be able to go home and get a good meal. He's gonna X out, Eddie Hearn. Seriously, that's what's gonna happen. Frank Warren doesn't have a problem helping Al Haymon X out a fellow countryman and Eddie Hearn. They about to push Eddie Hearn over the edge. Magnetic Shamil, what's going on, family? Al Haymon makes power moves in boxing. Alex Santos, what's going on? Yeah, silently. He don't say nothing. Where Oscar De La Hoya, Bob Arum, and Eddie Hearn take shots at him and say woo woo. He don't say nothing. He just, he make business moves. He make power moves. You know, he don't have to come out here and dish you and verbally get in the camera and tell you F you and do this and that. He just make moves and laugh. You know, you heard what was it? Brandon Watson, one of the Watson twins said. He said he want a fair man, but he ain't no hoe. He hard. He tough. You know, he a tough dude, man. And Eddie Hearn, know he in trouble. You know, if Danny Jacobs go back to PBC, it's over with. It's over with. Should be on Ring TV pretty soon, man. I got a plug. It's on Ring TV. It should be on Ring TV now. I think that source should be on Ring TV. They writing the story up right now. So Badou Jack and Marcus Browne, yep, it's coming up from what I hear. Yep, either Pacquiao Badou Jack card. I mean Pacquiao Badou Jack, but the Pacquiao Browne card or somebody else card. Frank Warren is putting himself in position to work over here due to building relationships. Yep, he's built a relationship with Bob Arum. He has a working relationship with Al Haymon through Carl Frampton and James DeGale. Yep. So he has working relationship with both big promoters. So he's not trying to come over here and say, I'm the king of the jungle. How can you be the king of the jungle, Eddie Hearn? You haven't conquered the UK market. So by you not conquering and cornering the UK market completely, somebody else will come right on in and partner with your nemesis, Frank Warren, and corner that market. And that's what's happening. Jesus Perez boxing needs a Dana White. I'm tired of these boxing promoters and all these bases. So I want simple, unified, and the best fight in the best. Exactly. Yep. That's where you get the third party in. Instead of Dana White being one party, you have Dana White being one party. You know what I'm saying? Being one. You know? Got one organization that plays Dana White, not just one man being a dictator. You have a group of people that vote, and that's fair. And they go out there and find 2 sanctioned belt bodies, and they have fair ranking systems. I would like to see the ranking systems the same, regardless. You know? At least with the same crop of fighters. Frank Warren is done. Al Haymon will be working with ITV on his own deal. Okay, salute. I don't think so because Frank Warren manages James DeGale, so I just put money in his pocket too. You know, Napoleon Armstrong, what's going on? Boxing needs to commission 1 belt a weight class. Yeah, I could say 1 belt a weight class. I wouldn't mind seeing 2. I was always in favor of 3. Two major belts and 1 developmental belt for contenders. You know what I mean? For prospects. You know, something like the NABA belt or something like that. You know, I was always in favor of 3 belts. Kurt Sugar, what's going on, family? Boxing needs to. I already read that one. Okay, he talking to Cali. Mr. White say, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. No, Dana White, that will limit the money. Yeah, that's why I say you need a third party organization. You know, I forget what they call the third party organization in the plant. What the fuck they call them, man? I done used them so many times. They call them something in the plant where you got the union, you got the worker, you got the company, and then it's somebody else that you go see, and they kind of is the third party who rules on them. I can't remember what the fuck it's called, man. Arbitrator. No, it's not an arbitrator. Shit. I forget what they call them. They call them something, man. You go down there, they got an office within your plant, and they the third party that rules on shit. Like one time we had some dudes get into a fight. It wasn't a fight, and they would go down there and they would interview witnesses, and then they would get with the company, and then they'd make the final ruling. I can't remember what that shit's called. No, DeGale is a Haymon fighter. They just put him on Warren's card because they didn't have a day for him. Okay, I thought he still was I know Carl Frampton is a Haymon fighter, but he's managed by Haymon, but he's a Frank Warren fighter. I believe DeGale is a Frank Warren fighter as well too, because he left Eddie Hearn and went to Frank Warren. So you could be a Haymon fighter and still be a Frank Warren fighter. It's just a management. Badou Jack will beat the shit out of Browne. I agree. The idea. Cool, 2 major belts and 1 for the young guns. Yeah, that's what I thought. You know, mediator. It ain't a mediator. It's something I can't. It's not HR. No, it ain't HR. What the fuck is that shit called, man? I can't remember what that shit's called, man. I can't remember. I forgot, man. I would have to ask one of my dudes, man. We playing FanDuel tonight. I can ask him. I had to ask that nigga, man. I can't remember what the name of that shit called, man. Who must Canelo fight in May in order to gain respect? Charlo. You know, Charlo. They ain't gonna never get 100% respect though, man. And I'm gonna say that, man, in his favor, man. Like Floyd, man. You ain't gonna never get 100% respect. You can fight the Monstars, you can fight Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers, and knock out all them. These dudes will never be. Nobody is 100% satisfied. You know, it's like life. You know what I'm saying? You can't please everybody in life. When you figure that out, you can't please everybody. The only person you need to please is you and the people that it affect, the loved ones, man. At that point in life, you're gonna get a big dose of fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Forget what these people think about what you're doing, man. You do what's best for you. Now somebody can try to talk you out of doing something, but guess what? You do it because you want to do it. You're gonna live with the consequences. Because if you don't do what you want to do, and you do what somebody else wants you to do, and it fail, you're gonna wish you would with your first mind. Always go with your first mind, because at least you can respect you going with your first mind. Do what make you happy. Do what you believe is right. Because if you do what somebody else plan, you're gonna be pissed off if you and do what you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Why are they reassessing Charlo's mandatory spot when Triple G clearly said no? Because they trying to buy Canelo some time. You know, they might as well just get that man his money back. Say we ain't gonna force that fight. Seriously, man. The only way to be respected for real is to be undisputed. If he beat Charlo, Jason Boo Boo, it's over. I guess. Yeah. Terrence Wiseman, Dana White will be working close with Haymon. Whenever Dana says he's talking to boxing people, he's talking to Al Haymon. Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't know who else he's talking to, because Bob Arum can't keep his mouth shut. Alan Henderson, why so many people act like he was supposed to fight Charlo in December? Because if they both fight in December and they ain't fighting each other. That's what people, but he got a voluntary. Because if he didn't, because Triple G didn't fight Canelo in September, he was supposed to fight Charlo. So most people think, since y'all both ain't got no fight, y'all want to fight in December, y'all should fight each other. I didn't have a problem with him taking the tune up in December. I had no problem as long as he fought Charlo in May. I always said that. Boo Boo next fight already lined up. He just saying people names for clout. Exactly. He was having a fight in Rhode Island. Eddie Hearn said he needed to tune up because he don't look good. And that's a fact. He don't look good. If he sanctioned the belt bodies, orders fights, and one fighter doesn't want to fight, should be dropped from the rank. Exactly. You have to build your way back up, Dutch Entertainment. I definitely agree. At least I got Creed versus Drago. I'm looking forward to that in Apollo pre-RP. Yeah. I'm going to go check that joint out, man. Salute. I got to go check that. I seen the last one on Thanksgiving, man, a few years ago. Salute. Yeah, I got any other questions, man, before I hop off here, man? I'm still under the weather a little bit, man. Triple G is fighting Smith at 168 in May. Them WO rankings are weak for Andrade. I believe it's Triple G fight him when it said. Somebody told me on Twitter he fighting him and Jacobs is fighting Canelo. I believe that when that happened. Why mandatory challengers gotta beg for something they earn? Exactly. Not only something they earn, something they paid for. In Charlo case, he paid for that. When he fought for the interim belt, he paid for that. He probably paid 1.5 or 2% for that. He might have paid the full 3% for it. He paid for that. It's pitiful. You got to beg for something that you earn. Smith got to clean his ass up. Yeah, he should. It's a good fight. Smith said he targeted Andre Ward. Carlos Smith get the dog piss beat out of him, even to this day, versus Andre Ward. He better go fuck with Canelo. IBF is the fairest of the B-side fighters. They always get a shot if they win eliminators. Yep. Alan Henry says CJ just said he didn't mind him fighting a bum in December. Yeah, I don't mind him fighting a bum in September. I didn't mind it. I thought it was going to be David Lemieux. I didn't think it was Rocky Fielding, but I said that. I said that about Jared Hurd, too. I said I didn't mind Jared Hurd getting a hometown fight before he fought Charlo. But when he went talking about he wanted two right-handed fighters, man, you ain't going to sell me on that bullshit. You ain't going to. No, nigga, you a right-handed fighter. What the fuck you talking about? You need two right-handed fighters before you fight a right-handed fighter. Like, no, you're not going to get over on us like that. Ward gonna beat the shit down his leg. You mentioned Savannah, Georgia in the boxing video. How do you know about Savannah, Georgia? I know some. I used to be down in the deep south, man. I got some ties down there. One of my teammates in college, he was supposed to go to Savannah State. He didn't end up going there, man. Savannah State in the middle of the hood. Fuck you mean? I know that much. Savannah State in the middle of the hood. It's like my college was in the middle of the hood. I love that shit. Canelo would try to fight Errol Spence in September. Yep. Especially if he does his numbers with Mikey Garcia in Cowboy Stadium, if that's where they fight. Or is a boogeyman and retired at the same time. Yep. Yeah, go check out the Andre Ward interview on the Rich Eisen podcast. They got it on YouTube, man. Yeah, I just linked it in my Ward video today. I subscribe. I like Rich Eisen. He's a Michigan man, so salute. Alex Hearn is looking to go on a date with the right-hander. Like, man, get the hell up out of here, man. Ain't gonna try to sell some boxing fans on. He need to fight two right-handers and you an orthodox fighter. Like, man, they be trying to get over on us. Like, we fucking retarded. I saw, and Ward still sparring with people, man. That shit crazy. Still whooping niggas' asses. The winner of the contender getting top 10 W. What wait? I mean, I can't believe Shane Mosley made it, man. Somebody told me Shane Mosley improved, though. I straight went in. I mean, I said, how the fuck Shane Mosley make it? Shane Mosley Jr. make it. Like, that nigga was terrible in Australia on the Jeff Horner Pacquiao card, I think it was. You know what I mean? Like, man, how the fuck that nigga make it? He showed got his mama's fighting genes. He showed got that nigga fight. My dog knocking on the door to come in. I don't know if I hear that nigga. Her having nightmares of Charlo. Yeah, he talking about Floyd Mayweather today. I do a video on that. Oh, that's a middleweight. He says a middleweight. Rating is how Mosley made it to the finals. Oh, ratings. Okay. Because he got a name. Should Jamal Charlo ask for 40% or should he settle for 30%? Man, whatever. I mean, 30% of what you get versus Canelo is good money. So if you truly believe you can win, you know, you're going to be the A side. Because you don't want a rematch, so you get the 70% next time. I thought John Jackson was going to win it. John Jackson was in it? He lost? John Jackson's a pretty good fighter. He better than Shane Mosley. Alex Santos, I can do you another video on a forgotten fighter like Harry Simon or something. Oh, yeah, man. I got to, man, get to that, man. I've been bullshitting on the forgotten fighter. I'll get to it this weekend, I promise. I'm gonna do at least two of them for you. I had to research, man. I've been sick, man. So I've been sick and working on my car and moving some things out the car shop. So I've been doing a lot. So I gotta just research so I can give you a good video. Jamel waiting on Jamal to get them big matchups so he can fight her. That makes sense. Okay. J1 Pro, what's going on? Will Canelo try to fight Mikey? No, hell no. Hell no. He ain't gonna stoop that low. He ain't gonna stoop that low. Appreciate it. I'm feeling a little bit better. Hot, what's going on? I'm feeling better. I'm gonna go ahead and log off, man. I might come back and do another one late night, man. I gotta let my dog in. He banging at the door. Finish washing, fold clothes and shit. I washed my clothes yesterday. I ain't fold them. So, yeah, my girl, she just walked in. So, you see, Jermaine. I don't even want to talk about Jermaine Taylor. He got a mental issue, man. All right. Here I come. He got a mental issue. You know. Mikey fuck around the whip Canelo. That shit. Man, I won't watch that. I swear to God. I won't watch no fucking featherweight fight a career junior middleweight. Yeah, he probably is going to call out Errol. I believe that. He probably will, man. What did Jermaine? I don't know what Jermaine Hurley be doing. He did something. He violated his bail, man. His bond, whatever it is. He violated his bond. Man, that nigga, man. He need to be on some pills. All right, this is my last one. Jacobs, Andra, Derevchenko, and Charlo, Billy Joe Saunders should start their own franchise and don't worry about super free outside. Yeah, it'd be a good job. Good thing. That'll sell. You know, but Saunders got 9 months. He got 3 months suspension and 3 months to be re-ranked in the WBO. Cool. Kelly probably ruined Jermaine Taylor. I think Jermaine Taylor lifestyle ruined Jermaine Taylor, man. I think he was always doing some recreational stuff, man, after that. But Pavlik did whoop his ass twice. First time knockout, second time unanimous decision. And then down the line, Sergio Martinez beat his ass. So then Hopkins. Everybody wants a piece of that Texas money, cloud chasing Earl. Yep. He didn't build his status up now. Now he could win. But let me go ahead and log off and let my dog in before I get hit with Adam Makruti. I'm gonna come back on later, man, and you know, salute. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Don't forget we on Facebook and Twitter and email there. You can always reach out to me on those platforms and DM me or whatever. I'm gonna check the DMs in a minute in the comments. Want to make a donation? That link's in the description. Salute. We gone.